Good evening to DeFiChain News on the 6th March 2024, the news show that provides you with the latest updates on DeFiChain project. If you like the show, then let's go crazy on the like button. It wakes up the algorithm and helps the project. Subscribe and click the bell button. And stay until the end because we will discuss the next shows and dates. Afterwards, we also have some time to answer your questions, so please put them here in the chat. And normally I'm introducing Lord Mark as our expert and co-moderator of DeFiChain, but today he is missing the show. He cannot participate, so I will cover all the topics and keep the information, push the information to you so that you are up to date on DeFiChain project. Next week he will be back on stage and then we cover the topics again together. So let's start with the headlines today. What we have, our main title was NFTs conquer DeFi, or DeFiChain or MetaChain is the better one. You saw the amazing thumbnail created by Ewald, really good, and he used some of the NFTs which are currently listed there. I will talk a little bit more about it. Then we have MetaChain updates, so what's happening along all the projects, notable mentions, the community projects and updates, and the future dates. This is the show today. Let's jump into our main topic. NFTs conquer MetaChain. Really great, but let us do a step before. Atlantis NFT is our first marketplace. It was also part of our news show some time ago, and they did a massive update on the project regarding minting, listings, auctions and more. So what happened? On the one side, they added some NFTs, OctoDefi, our NFTs which are already there from Lars Berger and co project. And the TNT DeFi NFTs are also listed on Atlantis, but what I recognize, you cannot buy them so far. So that was one part of the update. The second one were some improvements regarding user interface, user experience on auctions, so that's easier for you to buy or to sell an NFT. The self-service listing was introduced, so till this update, everyone has to fill out a Google form, which NFTs should be there and what is the background. Now everyone can add an NFT collection directly on the app without this intermediate step, so very much more effective. And the biggest update from my perspective was the feature to create your own NFT collections and mint NFTs. Because this enabled everyone to create NFTs and collections. Was amazing to see how the DeFiChain community used this feature and started to build and mint NFTs. And today we want to have a very short glimpse on the one or other collection. This does not mean you should buy it now, but it's very interesting how the creativity in the community looks like. It's worth to just check them out and see what they are listing there. And we start with Heroes of DeFiChain. So here the NFTs show some known community members like Julian, Kügi, Lord Mark, me, Sebastian, Lars, Balthasar, Igor, in different styles. You recognized Lord Mark and me on the thumbnail in this comic style. That's out of this collection, but they have different styles, Lego or GDA style. Really interesting and funny to see what they created out of our pictures. The next collection was created by another community, Crypto Wölfe. It's a German community linked to JeffSphere, and I said, okay, we have a new feature. We can create our own NFTs. Let's mint some NFTs with wolves, and we do it to support your initiative regarding DUSD repack, team repack. So all the revenue will be used to buy DUSD and burn it. Check that out, and if you are interested in creating your own individual PFP with your logo, then reach them out, contact them, and they create one especially for you. Really great. Then we are shifting from the art to Chuck Norris memes. So some time ago, nearly 2 years, we had the Chuck Norris memes in our community, and they were used now to create NFTs, and new ones were also created. Lemmy is the account on X, created this, and check it out. Really funny to see these old memes again now as NFTs, and you see it in the collection. Then beside the normal listing of all NFTs, there is also a launchpad on Atlantis NFT. Means you as a user, if you kind of buy the NFT, will directly mint it, so you don't see it. It's a process. And the first collection there was the Jellyverse Archives. This is the story behind our jelly. Each detail designed unveils a glimpse into the technological marvels and architectural wonders of these interstellar beings, is the description. Check this out. Looks like some blueprints, some drawings. Everyone shows kind of jelly in a technical way. Really interesting how these were created, and maybe some story will also be unveiled later. Next one on the launchpad was DeFi monks. 5,000 NFTs will be there all around the monks. You can mint them now also on the launchpad. I will put all the links with the information later in the show notes. Next collection, also interesting. Someone said, let us honor a community member. It's Phil for DFI. That's the X account. Phil is was and is very active regarding DUSD. Created also a video for the DUSD pump, and someone now created a collection to honor Phil, showing him in different styles. Also very, very interesting how they look like. Last collection which I want to cover or to talk about shortly is old school DeFiChain memes. So we are back to the meme category. In the past we had some very old memes, and they were now born again as NFTs, and if you like them, you can also buy it and own it. Overall, a very, very interesting thing what happened. Project built something on MetaChain. People can use it, and people are using it. You see, MetaChain is still active, projects are still active, and I liked it to see what's happening there, and I will follow the collection section, what is happening also in future, because I think the one or other will also jump on this train and create an NFT collection. So MetaChain is now there to provide NFTs. Then we go to the next topic of the show, MetaChain updates, because this was only one project, the marketplace, and now let us have a look on the other ones. I will provide again the spreadsheet with an overview of current running projects and the ideas which I'm aware of it. This does not mean you should invest your money into the project. Short disclaimer, do your own research. It's just what we find in the social media space when screening DeFiChain and the projects. And now let us jump into the first project, JeffSphere. They had a couple of topics which should be mentioned here. The TVL in the DUSD products, so in the cryo vaults and in the DUSD staking, overall reached now 28 million. That's really crazy high. So in the last days there was a big inflow into their products, especially these DUSD products. Then they launched last week, I think, TradeX. That was a new product on the site or service where you can buy D tokens with your DUSD on the MetaChain with a very simple interface. And in the background, they use the DEX with the higher liquidity on the native side, buy the D tokens and transfer it to the MetaChain. And so far, 250,000 DUSD were used to buy the D token in this first week. And now they reached the stage where they said, okay, we wanted to have some products live before we do our token launch. All these products are now live. Means the next step is the Jeff token campaign. Here they will provide some more information in future, but this will be now the next step. Jeff token, which is kind of integral part in all their services, and the story behind we will see in future. Next project, Jello. We mentioned it last week. They did an airdrop on X, which goes crazy up. Yeah, Jello was a very small X account, less than 1,000 followers, and they reached several 10k views and several thousand reposts and comments. So crazy active on X, just due to the fact that they used the hashtag airdrop. But with this initiative, we reach people outside our DeFiChain bubble, and was a great success. The airdrop ended on Thursday last week. There was a post, everyone participated. There's a link to a sheet where you can check your address if you successfully participated on it, and if you already reach your Jello token from this airport. Well done, really great initiative. Next project, Million Pixel DeFi, our first project on the MetaChain mainnet. They launched, I think, 1 day after mainnet went live. And this is this big wallpaper where you can buy some pixels and put your graphic, your icon, your logo, whatever you want. And some months ago, they decided that a part of the revenue will be used to buy and burn DUSD. In February, the revenue was not too high, but they used a part of it and bought 624 DUSD and burned them. Thanks for that. Next project, Unleashed, was a little bit quiet around this name. They collaborate with the OpenDApps Cloud, and they now deployed a very basic service to support the usage on MetaChain. It's a multi-cent service. If you're interested in this feature, check it out. Link will be in the show notes later. And give them a feedback if they should also integrate such a service in their overall app. Was originally not intended, but I thought, maybe it helps the one or other, and they want to bring some additional benefit for the one or other user there. Really great. Thanks for that. Planned projects, I already mentioned TNT World. This is the NFT collection where you can get cash flow on your NFT. They launched now their landing page. Looks really amazing, and there's a lot of information. If you're interested in this project, check that out, read it, then you get some information about what are the NFTs, what is the cash flow behind, how much can I earn. It depends a little bit on the NFT. All the NFTs are already minted on Atlantis, what I mentioned before. You see the collection, but you cannot buy it or buy the NFTs so far. That was the state yesterday. They mentioned on X that they will announce in advance when everything went live. So let's see when this happens, and then you can buy an NFT, and with the NFT you get DFI out of frozen masternodes, I think, and the block rewards. That's the update on the MetaChain projects, which we found screening the social media. If your project now was missing, then reach us, get in contact with us. We have a Telegram group where you can post all your updates before the show, and then we will cover also your project if we missed it today. Next category, notable mentions. Everyone around DeFiChain, MetaChain, which is not an own category, but should be mentioned that you are staying up to date and know what's happening. First point, there was a DeFiChain Labs meetup in Singapore last week on Thursday, so 1 day after the last news show. For everyone who couldn't participate because Singapore is maybe not your location, there are now 2 recordings available on YouTube here on the English channel. One is about Prasanna's opening presentation of DeFiChain, so where are we coming from and what's kind of outlook, and then also the discussion around unlocking opportunities in DeFi, where also the guests participated and discussed about DeFi space. Check that out if you're interested. Really interesting and worth to check. Then next point in this category, blog post. There is new one, WebAssembly, the game changer for blockchain performance and flexibility is the title. So if you are interested in what's behind WebAssembly, check that blog post out, read it, and maybe then you have more background information. What's that about? Next point, we had a big address holding over 8 million DFI, I think roughly 2 weeks ago, and they started to swap their DFI into DUSD in 10K batches, and beginning of the week this address was empty, so all the DFI were swapped into DUSD. The overall amount was roughly 1.7 million DUSD, and these DUSD were burned. So from the pattern, a big amount of DFI will be swapped in DUSD and burned. Looks like these are the DFI from the early investors on Bake. There was an alignment that they don't or will no longer own them. They will be used to buy and burn DUSD. Would fit into this pattern. Kyugi found out that they moved to the burn address. A link will be later in the show notes. What else happened? Now 4 days ago, another voting cycle ended on DeFiChain. So our on-chain governance is in this blocks. If the last voting round ended, the next one started. And with the old voting round, we had 3 CFPs and DFIPs. Let us have a look on the results. We have 2 DFIPs approved. One was from DeFiChain Labs requesting one symbolic DFI, but was more an overall, should they be independent from Bake. The second one was about the decentralized bridge of CrowdSwap that was also approved. That was really exciting towards the end, because they were around the 50% threshold, sometimes a little bit below, sometimes a little bit above, but at the end they won and can now build the project and link MetaChain or DeFiChain to other chains. Will be really interesting how this will play out then. One CFP was rejected regarding a new stablecoin, CUSD, including also an on and off ramp that was not accepted by the masternodes, so will be rejected and not funded. 2 DFIPs took part in this round. One was also approved, was regarding should we add or list Chainlink on our native site as a wrapped token similar to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and what else we have. This was accepted. And the second one was rejected. That was a time-limited redirection of block rewards from bigger pools into the Swiss franc DFI pool. That was not accepted by the masternode, so this will not happen. Yeah, so far notable mentions. Also a lot of things happened, and then we come to our good old ones, the community projects and the updates. Here I have 2 updates for you. One is participating every news show. DeFi DEX trader are always here, always pushing everything around the DEX. One point I want to mention is the very first account from the very first DEX trading master, the account Jelly, reached now the goal of an 50x. So they made 25k USD out of the initial investment of 500 USD. That's really crazy. And if you now build a kind of average profit per week and per day, we have 583 DUSD per week or nearly 84 DUSD per day in profit. It will be interesting what they are doing now with the account. I think there was a message that they will proceed in trading on the DEX, and that's a good hint towards the second part of their update. They will give you again a beginner's workshop. They already had some in the past, and they will provide 2 different slots. One is on the 12th of March in German, and for the English-speaking community on 15th of March, 8 p.m. Central European time. Link is later in the show notes. So if you are interested in how they do this 50x with their Jelly account, how you can use the DEX, the D token system to trade, maybe the beginner workshop is then the right thing for you. Next point, DeFiChain Association is a new one. DeFi Pushy reached us out, so they want to build and create an association that supports DeFiChain. They want to help to stabilize the system with masternodes, bonds, liquidity mining. They are in a very early stage. What they are thinking about, that there are several stages with different durations and dollar amount worth to be a member, and bring you then a benefit. So if you want to help them, because they ask for help in if you have ideas for partnerships, for benefits, then reach them out. And especially if you are familiar with regulations in the German-speaking area, you can also support them. But overall, every idea, every knowledge on DeFiChain to help and support the ecosystem is warmly welcome. And yeah, contact them. There are 2 videos, one is in German, one is in English, about more information, what they are planning, what they are doing. So interesting, check that out later. That's the update for today's news show. A lot of things are happening, a lot of things around the projects. The community is very active. I'm very happy, and if you want to stay up to date, I would recommend to join again our weekly news show. So future dates are next week news show on Wednesday with Mark again. So we are both then back on stage and give you the latest updates on DeFiChain project. That's all for today. Have a great time. If you are watching live, you can put your question now into the chat. I still have some time to check them out and try to answer them. If not, see you soon here on the channel with DeFiChain News Show. Have a great time. Bye bye. So here we are again. Christian Pedersen is for sure again here. He also joined the German version, but this does not mean he will miss the English one. Bitvesties is here. Welcome. A really great post on X which I saw today from the A-team. Yeah, that was a great one, but I think it was in German. Then Honsan is here, the man in the woods, very good trader on DEX. So if you want to get some insights, check him, reach him out, and then yeah, maybe you learn more about DEX trading. What else here? I just want to once again thanks for the English version of news, even just for a few non-DACH guys like me. Yeah, sure, we try to cover all things again in English because we want to get more international, and we have a lot of community members out there not German speaking. Normally they are not watching it live because of different time zones. So in Asia it's midnight or later, and in US is morning, so people are not there. But we also have some views here on the English channel. Then David Push, he is doing all the things along the association, asking here again for help. So if you are interested in help, build something, do something with community members, reach them out. It's worth, and that's DeFiChain. Yeah, looks like no real question from you. And then I would say again, have a nice time, and see you next week. For sure the one or other thing happens on DeFiChain, so it's worth to watch here the news show and stay up to date. Have a great time again. See you. Bye bye.